KFWB News Talk 980. My name is Les Brown, and we've been talking about schools and teachers and how they're formulating the vision that our kids have of themselves in the future, and some good teachers and teachers that are not so good. And we've had some interesting conversations around this, and we really welcome your conversation, and you're becoming a part of what it is that you feel when you look at what's happening with the schools today, the role that they're playing in helping our kids to get ready for the future. The number to call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. And Haley, thank you so much for calling back. Thank you for your patience. You have sons in fifth grade? Or are you a fifth grade teacher?
Oh, hi, Les.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for being on the air. I really appreciate hearing you.
Thank you.
Inspire me. So, yeah, I have a son in fifth grade. I also have a daughter in middle school, and I have two others that are younger. But my son, his teacher, I just look at school and I think, it's not really designed for boys. I mean, boys are meant to climb things and build things and tear things apart. And his teacher has found a way to not try to control him, but more try to divert him and give him a place to channel that energy. Because I was telling your screener that, he finishes his work as fast as he can, turns it in, and the teacher's now got him helping the other children in the class.
Okay, so he can do something else with that energy rather than be disruptive. They found a way to use that energy in a constructive way.
Yeah, I just, I'm a believer of, they go to school, it's a limited amount of time of the day. They're going to deal with all sorts of different kinds of people, whether they're in school, in sports, in work. I mean, I don't try to get involved too much. I try to let the teachers teach. I do listen to the children. I ask if they're having any issues, whatever. But, I've never gone in and tried to change a teacher because I heard the teacher was difficult, that kind of stuff. It's, I want them to learn how to deal with different people. And I think that is part of growing up and maturing. And that is what you have to do every day when you're a grown up. Absolutely.
Well, listen, thank you. Thank you very much for calling in, and thank you for listening to the program.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Something she said that she doesn't go in trying to change the teacher, even if she gets a report that the teacher's a difficult teacher to deal with. And what she's doing is teaching her child how to manage the teacher. You got to learn how to manage and deal with all types of relationships. And I think that's a good strategy. Hello, Kat. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you for being a part of the program. What is your story?
Well, I have a set of twins who have actually graduated college now. But when they were in school, they were AP students or GATE students, depending upon, but they were excellent students. And when they moved up into middle school or junior high school, whatever you call it now, they had one particular math teacher, algebra teacher, that just took a dislike to them for whatever reason. They were in separate classes, first and sixth period, so they were separated. She never really learned their names, who was who. She constantly called one the other. But she was upset. We got into it because my kids came home with D's on a progress report, which had never happened before. My daughters freaked out. They just never got a D. And I was really involved with my kids. I was always there. I volunteered. I always kept up on what was going on.
Okay, now, did they ever tell you ahead of time that there was a possibility that they were going to get a D, and here's what they're going to need to do to make up work so that they wouldn't end up with a D? Were you ever warned ahead of time?
Nope. Only when I got that progress report. And so then I went down, I talked to the teacher to find out what the problem was. And Stephanie, one of them, she came home one day, and the teacher flat out called her out in class. She had failed a test, and in front of the whole class told her she failed the test, so which was embarrassing to her.
Absolutely.
Nobody's business. And so I called the teacher and the principal to have a conference to find out what could be done, what was going on. That upset the teacher tremendously.
And when that happens, sometimes the teachers take that out on your child in ways in which the child would not be aware and you would not be aware.
Absolutely. And all I'm trying to do is figure out why my kids are not doing as well as they've always done.
So how did you resolve this?
I actually had them finally moved out of class because the principal, I said, this just doesn't seem right. all these kids in her classes are supposed to be excellent student and AP students, so they maintain A grades constantly. And all these kids are getting D's, C's, D's, and F's. What's the problem? And then principal asked me why I knew this. I said, because in her statistics teaching, she told the kids she was using the grades from her other classes. And I helped my daughters with their homework, and I saw grades from other classes.
Wow, that is weird.
Isn't that weird? So
Yes.
the teacher was so upset with me, and she actually went to and called one of their other teachers from their other school, the one they just moved out, and wanted to know what kind of mother I was because I intimidated her, and she didn't like that. And he called me up and said, what did you do to this teacher? And I explained to him, and he said, okay, no wonder she called, because she was all set about it. And I told the principal, because my kids did extracurricular, they were mentors, they taught other kids, things like that, and they were going to have to be pulled off their drill team and out of other things because of this failing grade.
Wow. Well, listen, thank you. They're very fortunate to have you for a parent, because you were involved and engaged and then moved them someplace else so they can have a better chance at getting the kind of quality education they needed. Listen.
Here's the best thing. They both went to college to become teachers.
Okay, fantastic. That they're going to be a better teacher than they had with that person. Listen,
I know.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for listening. Bye now. All right. Wow. Isn't that something? They still love teaching in spite of that. Hey, Matt, thank you very much for listening, and thank you for your patience. What is your story that you'd like to share with us?
Well, my mom was a teacher for 35 years. My sister is currently a teacher, and the solution is this. You've got to get rid of the teachers that don't care, to get the kids to care, and get rid of an administration if they're more concerned about bringing in revenue to the school rather than making sure the kids are properly educated. And everything will work out just fine.
Yeah, that would, and that is so easily said than done, Matt.
Oh, yeah, my sister was terminated for bringing up, well, her contract was not renewed technically, but she was letting the administration know that they were not adhering to the guidelines set by the state, and she was told to shut up, and at that point, they let her go.
Wow. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the politics of it. Listen, we got to go now. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for calling in. And listen, we hope that you enjoyed the program, and I thank you so much for your story. Listen, I'd like to encourage you to join us the next hour. We have something that I'm sure that you are going to enjoy as you listen to the news. In the meantime, this is Les Brown reminding you to join us tomorrow starting at 2 o'clock. Keep in mind, always strive to get on top in life, because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980.